Hello, my name is David Guest. I'm a solution architect and technology evangelist with Coacho. I'm here today to talk to you about Ignite 2025. There's a lot of announcements that have been made. I'm going to try and focus on the ones that we think actually apply to people in general. The message that we're getting from this is around stronger identity, endpoint and data protection. All of that should mean that we can use artificial intelligence in a cleaner, better way, with more confidence and fewer surprises, enabling us to become more efficient and use things in the right way. Over the past year, we've seen a large number of agents being deployed. AI agents for security, for data protection, for endpoint management, well, you get the idea. There's a lot of agents. Within Entra, we can now give each agent its own identity. Because it has an identity, that allows us to control what that agent can see and can do. Those controls will be adopted by the agent, so we can be confident that that agent is not being exposed to things it shouldn't see. Along with that, there is an element called Agent 365, and that allows us to discover what these agents are doing. It gives us oversight of where those agents are operating and what they're actually looking at. It will stop this shadow automation, the ability for bits of the organization to run AI without anybody in IT actually knowing about it. It's really the first foundation for safe, scalable AI use that doesn't revolve around having the protections already in place. We talked then about AI and its authentication by having its service account, for want of a better word. But we also need to have a look at how we can do this for our users. What we would like to be able to do is have a passkey that allows us to access more than one service. And that cross-ecosystem passkey is now something that is practical. It should allow us, within an environment, to roll out passkeys, profiles for passkeys, by a group. So people in a specific environment, specific department can get the passkeys pushed out to them. We can also now allow a user to recover their account. What happens when your phone breaks? All of a sudden you lose your multi-factor authentication. Yes, it's great that you can still sign on to a PC, but when you try to access something that needs MFA, you're no longer able to do that. Verified identity using external verified identity sources will allow you to then recover that service, recover that user account, and create your new MFA. So rather than call the help desk and get them to reset your MFA with all of the questions that brings, you'll be allowed to do it yourself. With access reviews, in effect how we control what people can get to within the system, those will now be actually driven by risk signals. Not just this user hasn't accessed the system for 30 days, but actually this user has behaved in a risky manner, is accessing from an unusual location, and that information will now feed into the access reviews as well. With Global Secure Access, we're actually controlling better what people can do with access to the internet. It will allow us to control, to provide guardrails, if you will, between the network and the user and their device. We'll be stopping the injection of prompts before they even get to the user. So should your website or the site that you're using for a service have been attacked and breached, any prompts that come from that site, any malware that's been put in there, can now be detected before it even gets to the user's browser. Again, it allows us to have that ability to control the shadow AI, because we'll be able to see that the AI interface is trying to contact a server or service through the Global Secure Access network. We also have the ability to block unapproved MCP servers. Now, MCP is also the way that we'll be accessing things with Purview. We'll come back to that. But being able to block unapproved servers has got to be a good way of making sure our security is maintained high. We've also got AI now helping with endpoint management. The ability to create and manage the configuration policies, the compliance policies, by using a natural language model. We input the natural language for our requirement into the system, and it will produce those configurations for us. The compliance policy, the configuration policy. We can also ask the system to identify for us where we are on the zero trust model, how well things are actually being integrated and how well things are working. That integration with AI also allows us to use workflows to reduce any threats on those devices. There's also an extended level of support in Intune that's going to work across Windows, Mac OS, iOS and Android, giving us a foundation layer for all of the elements that we might want to control rather than having to do it in individual policies. That's going to be quite a way down the line, but at least the intention is there. Within Purview, we're looking at your data security posture model, how we can actually manage that and how it's going to integrate into other pieces. We've got the auto labeling that we've had for years in place, but it's now also going to look at Snowflake. It's going to look at SQL Server. It's going to look at elements that are in an S3 network. The controls that we have in place will now apply to AI agents as well, not just people. It's also going to give us inline protection within Edge. So when we try to access, move, copy a document, Edge itself will actually allow us to have that control. And it's also being linked to 30 plus AI apps, making sure that your data stays within your own boundaries. This will also help to fix long-standing issues with things like SharePoint, where a user has been granted access to an individual file or folder rather than being members of a group. Purview can now identify that for you and allow you to take that remediation, that fix that you need to put into place. Probably one of the biggest announcements, certainly the one that's created the most noise, is the use of Security Copilot being added to E5. This really means that the AI support for looking at your security is now included in your E5 license. You are given 400 SCUs for every 1,000 users that you have. If you only have 100 users, then you'll get 40 SCUs. 10,000 users, you get 4,000 SCUs. These will allow you to do better and faster integration and investigation of anything that's going on. It will allow you to make decisions more quickly. It will allow you to triage what's going on a lot more quickly and make educated choices about where to go. It should reduce that manual load around identity, endpoint, and data security. And it makes E5 a significant more capable than E3 in daily practice. By that I mean you now have the ability in E5 to secure your environment better, and that's something that's not been available in E3. So what does it all mean? Well, hopefully your everyday admin will become less error prone, less manual, more automated. AI will become usable in your workflows. It will still protect your data. It will expose things that are specific to the user who's making the request and to the AI because that has an identity. It will be easier to modernize your environment without adding tools and without adding new potential points of failure. And it will give you a more stable foundation to deploy different AI models across your whole business. If you want to know any more about any of this, please talk to us and contact your account manager, contact somebody in the Coachio team, and we'll be more than happy to go into as much detail as we can. Thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you soon.